Greetings, I am Matthew Ritter. I'm a video game narrative designer and writer. I've worked for such companies such as Telltale, Don't Nod, and Fish Labs. I've been writing video games for more than 10 years, and I've worked on at least twice that many projects. I have been using Mad Sketcher for more than 2 years now, and I will take you through a brief tour of its main features. Mad Sketcher is one of the best narrative tools you could possibly find. It will help you build from scratch any and all content linked with a scenario, characters, and dialogue, from the game concept up to localization, QA, and integration in engines like Unity or Unreal. After downloading and installing Mad Sketcher, you will be able to give access to your development team. You can offer access to anyone and tailor the access rights based on everyone's job. Level designer, writer, producer, creative director, artist, anyone you need. As this is a web-based tool, the team can access it with a simple browser window. You can also open access to external members, to your publisher, to the file translators, or anyone else you might need to give access to. Everyone can benefit from access to the game content. You can also customize your usage of the tool down to every little specific detail. What features you want to use, which warnings should pop up, what code names, and what structure. Of course, you will also create a new project and choose what that configuration will be. You can have different configurations for each project. You can have different teams with different access rights for each project. The administration part of the tool has a lot more to offer, but now let's turn to the developer part. We will be browsing one of the demos that you can find on the website. The first couple of scenes from Life is Strange. This is based on the free demo available online. The first thing your team will do is define the project's overall structure. What is the content, the characters, the locations? You can enter just the bare bones details to get going quickly, and then come back later to finish and flesh out each element. All of the details you provide will later appear in the exports and be invaluable for the development team, as well as external providers, like the voice actors or the translators, for instance. In the overview, you define the structure of the project. It is a series of independent scenes, or a network of scenes, or even episodes. You can define anything you want. This screen is the first sketching area that you will use. It is the same logic for all narrative content: project overview, scene level design, dialogue logic. The logical setup is the same, and once you know how to use it, you can move through each individual element of game content quickly. It is also very simple to use. You build a network of nodes that you can connect freely and move around as needed. All of the info is shown on a screen at all times, and each user can choose what to see and not to see, what to display and what they really need and what they really don't need. Any change is saved immediately with undo levels and manual and auto-mapped backups. You don't have to worry anymore if content used by the writers is up to date, or if everyone has been up to speed on the latest changes. Everyone works on the current and approved version. When you have the structure laid out, let's move to an example of the level design for a scene. This scene is rather complex, but it is fast to build. You can finalize it in a matter of days, and that's including the trigger logic and the descriptions, also preparing the scene to be accessed for later playtesters. These playtests will be done within the tool itself. You can see that the game logic will allow access to certain content by the player, based on its progression in the scene. This is a typical diagram for a level designer. Except here, once the level design is laid out and approved, all of the project will at once be open for the rest of the team to develop. They will flesh out the level design within the same tool and based on the exact design objectives. All of the required props will be listed and accessible to the artists. All of the animation sequences will be listed also, and the motion capture can be planned from there. All of the dialogues will be available to the writing team. Let's move there now. The heart of Mad Sketcher, of course, is handling the narration. This is done in a sketching area, similar to the ones we've seen, tailored for the writing, amending, and validating of dialogue between any number of characters. You write each cue, specify who speaks to whom, then move to the next. You define the questions and choices for the player, as well as any on-screen text update and a lot of other options. You can go into a lot of details in the dialogue, specifying moods and attitudes for the characters, leaving notes for the mocap artists and the voice actors. You can select cameras and do many other things. Each node in a dialogue and in a scene can be flagged and approved separately, with comments going back and forth for all the sketch holders. All dialogue and scenes move through a pipeline that is defined in the administration part of the tool. The development team has a control tower view of all the developments going on and what stage they are at. This allows them to prepare the next step. At any moment, they can export a mocap book for a dialogue, a scene, an episode in one simple click. It will always be complete and up to date. The mocap book will contain images and summaries for each scene and each dialogue. They can also export individual mocap books for each actor so that they can prepare for their part. They can also export recording scripts, localization, or QA docs. All of these exports will contain the code naming conventions that are defined for the project. These code names will always be up to date and valid to be used by the artist, their mocap or voice studio's decoder, etc. In the same manner, the game engine can access all of the narrative content at any time very simply. All the data files are flat JSON files. There are also game hooks that your engine can call to retrieve specific information. With Mad Sketcher, you can very easily manage a few dialogues or a 5-episode project with thousands of dialogues. That's it for this tour. You can also access complete demos on the website madsketcher.com, and you can play around with all of the features and have a look at the administration details. You can also create an account and download the latest version in a couple of minutes and test it for free. See you there.